Ahoy, ahoy, everyone. Welcome back to The Shelves Have Eyes. I'm Fantom. And today we will be doing an unboxing and review of Transformers Studio Series 86 Kranix, which is such a surprising figure for them to have made. I mean, I guess if they're going to go through every single character that makes an appearance or a cameo or anything in the background of the movie, which they already have. I mean, there's no reason for there to be a Wheeljack or a Wind Charger or a Sunstreaker or a Hound Studio Series 86 figure because, I mean, either they're dead or they're in the background and don't have any lines. It is very surprising that they decided to do Kranix. I don't even think there was ever a Kranix toy ever in, like, planning. It's not like Unicron where they had that prototype that didn't go anywhere. I don't know if they ever, I can't imagine, I don't think that they ever had a Kranix toy planned. I'm happy that we got him because I like Kranix. I remember reading the Marvel adaptation of the movie as a kid and saying, oh, that's a really cool transformation sequence. He transforms into, I mean, admittedly, he just kind of lies down, but then so do a lot of other Transformers. And, you know, growing up, I liked GoBots, and GoBots really just lay down most of the time. When I was a kid, I had never seen the beginning of the movie. I had really only ever seen the movie from the point of the attack on Autobot City, essentially to the end. I never got the opportunity to see the beginning of the movie until I saw it on VHS. Because I watched the Season 5 Marvel Action Universe showing of Transformers the movie when they cut it up into parts and showed it on TV along with the weird live action segments with Optimus and the little boy. And I don't ever remember that, but that was the version that I watched, so maybe I just blocked it out. Getting back to Kranix, I'm very surprised that they made this. I'm not disappointed that they made this. He looks really nice, like most of the other Studio Series 86 figures. So let's take a look and see what magic we have here in the box. So looking at the package, we have a very nice faux lithographic kind of image of Kranix in both his robot and his alt mode. The figure looks good. I mean, it looks very clean. The colors are spot on. Doesn't have an excess of kibble. So just a continuation of that image. The same image that says Kranix on the back. We get another Transformers the movie, I'm going to assume YouTube's screen cap of the world of the Savage Sharkticons and their Cruel masters, the Quintessons. Kranix encounters Hot Rod and Cup after they are captured by the Quintessons. That's it. It's not even a full sentence or a paragraph. It's just translated into 4 other languages. It's nice that they put the background of his cell here. I mean, as morbid as that is, he looks like that, his Marvel version. And I know that his Marvel comic appearance in the adaptation of the movie was based off a older version of the movie script before, you know, they had him get into ships and fly away along with Arbalest, or attempt to fly away with Arbalest. The comic, he just transforms and he flies away. It is a funky looking design. I wonder what else they could make with this mold. Because it seems nowadays it seems like Hasbro is not making anything unless they can also do another remold of it. So I wonder what they would do with Kranix. I mean, there's a lot you could do with Kranix, but I wonder what they will eventually end up doing with him. So let's open him up and take a look. So here we have Kranix out of his package. It is the most Floro Dery design I have ever seen translated to toy form. And it is translated very well. This is really an amazing moment that we have come to the point where they can accurately reproduce the oddly smooth, rounded lines of Floro Dery's designs for the movie into three-dimensional toys that then still can transform. I mean, that is just, sometimes that blows my mind. He is very unsteady on his feet. He does not have a backstop to his heel, so if you put him down, he kind of rocks backwards a bit. I don't know exactly why that is. His feet came out of the box kind of like this, and that doesn't really help that much. It just makes him look kind of weird. He does have full range of motion that you would expect from a figure of this type. He does not have ankle tilts, but I mean, I don't think that that's a huge issue. Because, you know, Kranix is known for being a swashbuckling space pirate. What do you think? Are we going to get an Arbalest figure as well? As part of his transformation, his knees actually go back the other way as well, so just be careful with that. There is a minor ratchet point here. Not really a ratchet, but a stop. So maybe just be aware of that before you start going crazy with Kranix's legs. Yeah, like I said, his posability is kind of weird because his feet are kind of strange. His feet are kind of strange, but, you know, I mean, you can still transform him. And you can still pose him. I mean, rather, you can still pose him. So, I mean, it still works out very well. Yeah, he has full range of articulation. I mean, I don't know if most of that is because of his transformation. Looks good. He came with this gun. He never uses it. I'm not sure he even had one in the movie. Because if he had, why would he have been taken hostage by the Quintessence? But in any case, he does have, he does have a hip swivel too, which is interesting. The design is here, and I like it. And I think that it is very true to how he appeared in the movie, but there's no denying he needs repro labels. Desperately. Kranix did not look this plain in the movie. I mean, all of his design elements are there in this toy, but he really needs some details to help his very bland palette pop. And Repro Labels comes out with a set for everything, let alone it being an actual Hasbro Takara product or a third party. They come up with labels for everything. So I'm sure that they're going to put out a set for Kranix, and I'm sure that it will do wonders for this fairly plain mocha and magenta figure. Posability is good. He has a hinge for his face, his head, but that I think is part of his transformation. Really, it's just astounding to me that they were able to accurately translate Floro Dery's kind of softish, smoothish Transformers designs into something that actually works. It's amazing. It's amazing. So how about we transform him into his spaceship mode, and we'll see what that looks like. So here is Kranix in his flying spaceship mode, which, quite honestly, I'm a little surprised, because in both the Marvel Comics issue where you see his transformation and also the stock photos of his transformation, it doesn't look as impressive. It just looks like he sits down. He lies down on the floor. I was actually rather surprised by the amount of transforming that is actually required to fold it up. Now, I'm not going to give this mode a lot, because this is very much a blot situation, where he doesn't really transform into anything identifiable as anything that we would understand or know. So you can get away with a lot by having an alt mode that is completely made up and non-existent. And I think that that's basically what this is. It's very much like a weird space bird. He would not look out of place in Silverhawks, let's just say. I think the only thing that I really have a problem with in this is the fact that all of his screws are exposed in this mode. Yes, in his robot mode, it's very clean, it's very sleek. You don't really see a lot of the screws or the hinges or anything. And inversely, when you transform him, all you see is the screws and the hinges. I mean, by contrast, the bottom of this mode is very sleek. If they had just found a way to turn his head around and put this fin on the top, then it would be an absolute win all over the place. But instead, you just kind of get this weird flying duck. Duck? Yeah, it definitely looks like a duck or a goose. I mean, it's okay. And I mean, this is kind of purely made up from Floro Dery's initial character designs. And yes, his hands are very visible on the sides of his body. But you know what? I'm not gonna knock it too much because the robot mode is perfect. This is just kind of an afterthought, and that's exactly what it is, and what it comes across as, an afterthought. That being said, I think it's okay. I don't think I'm ever going to transform him really again. It doesn't, just don't see the need for it. But as it stands, I think that this looks okay as an alt mode for a non-existent alt mode character. It does seem to fit very well, but like I said, all I'm getting from this is bird. Very bird. A lot of bird. You're a flightless bird, D. So I can't really give this high points. It's interesting, and at least they gave him an alt mode. So there's that. But I don't think once I transform him back, I will be transforming him back into this flying bird mode probably ever again. So yeah, take from that what you will. So Secret Agent Kranix and I are now done with this video. All told, I'm not going to give the alt mode any props that it doesn't deserve, because I really don't think that it deserves a lot. But I will say this, that the amount of engineering required to get these soft-looking rounded panels off is fairly impressive that they got it into a workable figure. You really wouldn't know that this was his bird beak in alt mode, because it collapses very well with the rest of the body. Definitely needs some repro labels, though. This guy definitely needs some repro labels. He's looking a little plain. I will say that I find myself mildly impressed with him. I like him. I think that the translation of what at the time was an absolutely impossible transformation now seems fairly commonplace. I mean, if you look at how butchered all of Floro Dery's designs for the movie characters became when they were translated to toys, it's astounding that today we sit with deluxe class figures of movie toys that are about 95 to 99% there in terms of looking just like the character stepped off of the cinema screen. So, I mean, that's an amazing amount of progress to make in admittedly 40 years. The prototype Unicron. The prototype Unicron toy is the best example of this, because you took something that, technically speaking, seemed unable to be translated into a toy, and now, then 30 years later, there you go. We spent over $600 on the HasLab Unicron toy, and there it is, looking just like he stepped off the screen, still transforms into a planet. It's an amazing bit of engineering. And so here we have Kranix. I mean, he didn't cost me $650. He looks clean. He looks exactly like he did in the movie. And, I mean, he transforms into something. So, I mean, that's a win right there. So, no, I'm suitably impressed with this Kranix figure. I was really surprised that I found him, actually, on store shelves. my Walmart, I was looking for Miniverse balls. And I walked down the aisle and they had a whole bunch of Orion Paxes from Transformers 1. A whole shelf of nothing but Armada First Aids, not First Aid, Red Alerts, which have been sitting there for like the past, 6 months now? Like, they have just not sold because they have not put them on clearance. Not that anyone, I don't know why anyone would want that figure anyway. It's a very ugly figure to me. And also, I have no real connection to Armada Red Alert. I mean, I watched Armada. I didn't really... It's not that I didn't care for it, but that design was not one where I immediately said, yeah, let's go out and do it. I don't... As much as I love Flatline as a character in the comics, I'm not going to buy the Flatline toy because I hate that mold so much. I would much rather buy a Flatline accurate face and put it on a Trailbreaker toy, which is really what he was. In IDW 2005 continuity, when Flatline appeared, he was drawn from the Thrilling 30 Trail Cutter figure, just with a different head. So if I were to ever make a kit-bashed custom Flatline, I would use a Thrilling 30 Trailbreaker and get a new head, do different labels or painting on it. But I digress. And we're here for Kranix, the last survivor of Lithone. Was he a security guard? Was he a scientist? Was he just a normal person? Was he part of the military? Who knows? Who knows? We get so little about him. And how did the Lithonians know about Unicron? And Cybertron did not. I mean, these are just questions that demand answers. But sadly, I don't think we'll ever get any answers. Also, out of let's say that Lithone had the exact same population as Cybertron. It should have had a much higher population because Cybertron went through the entire dormancy period, and there was no way the Decepticons were able to repopulate the planet in the span of time between the end of season 2 of the Transformers show and the movie. So let's just say that Lithone had a considerably higher population than Cybertron. Clearly it's of comparable size. I think it's actually, Lithone is probably smaller than Cybertron. Because we see Unicron eat Moonbase 2. Or Moonbase 1. But, I mean, he destroys both. It doesn't matter. When we see Unicron eat Cybertron's moons, it looks very similar to when he devoured Lithone. But clearly Cybertron is larger because he needed to transform in order to do that. They are of comparable size. But there is just... It boggles the mind that Kranix was the only survivor of Lithone. It just seems way too crazy. There have to be other Lithonians somewhere in the galaxy. Digressions aside, I think this is a worthwhile figure, as I have said for almost every single current Studio Series 86 and Age of the Primes figure. Buy this on clearance, or if you have a coupon, or at a secondary market location like Ross, because paying full deluxe class price for him is insane. But it is a very nice figure, and I don't know, maybe you really love Kranix. I don't know. There've got to be people like that out there. I mean, I have an affinity for Kranix, but I don't love him. But I think this is a very good representation of the character. So, we come to the end. Thank you very much for joining me tonight on The Shelves Have Eyes. This has been a nice change of pace from aerial bots. The Silverbolt video was just so huge, I really just did not want... It took so long to do because there were just so many moving parts to that. I just really didn't want to do the next aerial bot, which is Fireflight. Fireflight is probably going to be the next video I do anyway, just because I really want Superion out of the way. If you liked this video and you would like to see more videos like it, please consider liking this video. I just said like a lot. Consider commenting and subscribing to the channel so you'll know when the next video drops. Thank you very much for everyone who just hammered the Studio Series 86 Shockwave upgrade kit video. That's fantastic and amazing. And I hope, once again, to keep that momentum moving. So, thank you very much for joining me. Once again, I have been Fantom. This has been The Shelves Have Eyes. Have a good night, y'all.